We are Kevin and Lauren Rolak. We've got 3 little girls, Bristol, who's 7, Elliot, who's 5, and Avery, who's 2.
Ever since I can remember, I've always wanted to adopt. I'd say it was about 2 years ago, we really started looking into adoption, and we met with several adoption agencies in the area and in Kansas City. Had lots of phone conversations, but it never felt right. It always felt like the door was kind of closing. It never felt like the right time. I remember having a conversation with my family and saying I would never do foster care. And it seemed at about that time that everything started pointing us towards foster care. Every time I opened my Bible, I felt like that's what God was telling me to do. I would come to church and I would get in the car, and the first thing we would talk about is foster care, and this is what we have to do. So we got a little girl in January, and we call her Baby A. She was 8 months old when we got her, and she turned 1 this past May.
Our lives were crazy with 3 girls, 7, 5, and 2. And I think that was one of the biggest anxieties because I think it feels like we're barely surviving as it is. But it felt like every time that we doubted or every time that we got nervous or cold feet, God was there with some type of supportive sign, whether it was a friend or a family, or our life group has been awesome. The world is really, really broken, and you can get pretty comfortable in your own small little bubble and think whatever things you have going on in your life are stressful or worrisome. But hearing about Baby A's story and her house and where she came from put a totally different perspective on really how much God's light is needed in our world, I think is the biggest thing. And so it was almost like there's no way you're not going to take this baby in and help her out because of what she had going on at home.
Just like when you add another baby to the family, I mean, it's not like now our love has to be divided by 4. Now we just have more love to give. And our girls treat Baby A like their little sister. I mean, they would do anything for her. When nap time is over, they were running up to get her. They want to change diapers. We fight over who gets to feed her and give her a bottle. They've learned that you can love anybody and we can love them unconditionally. And so it's been neat to see them make that relationship with her also.
When we first started talking about foster care, by no means did we feel ready or equipped to do that, but it felt like God was saying, this is what I want you to do in this moment. I think all of us in our everyday lives, God places, whether it's people or situations, kind of in your way that He is saying, this is how I want you to serve my kingdom today. This is how I want you to love others today. This happened to be ours, kind of our local mission. I would encourage anybody, if that little voice in your head is telling you to do something, or that person stands in your way and keeps on talking to you about it, take the dive, because it's been incredible. But know that it's not always perfect.
James talks about helping the orphaned and the widows. I don't think the Bible is saying that you can only care for orphans and widows, but he's encouraging us and telling us, to step into the places that are hard, or step into the broken places wherever you're called. And ours was in foster care, but I think the Bible just asks us, and God asks us over and over again, to step into those places that are going to be hard and difficult, because that's where you're going to grow and that's where you can spread God's love.